these guys didn't even try to run the football today. We didn't expect that to happen. We didn't think they would just totally abandon the running game, and we had a real nice plan if they were going to run it. We have to be able to adapt better to make sure that we can turn it around faster.
It's easy to admit you got out-coached on a day when you got a new extension, I guess. Pete Carroll, congratulations on the extension, but you guessed wrong, right? And that's one of the great aspects of football as a defense. Can you predict what the offense is going to do, and how do you premise your game plan? And they premised it on the Bills trying to run, which, because they had success last week, I guess, Chris, to a certain extent, running the ball against the Patriots, the Seahawks concluded that they would go run heavy again, that they'd flex their muscle, and the Bills set them up. That's one of the things I love about football. Every game plan is different for the good coaches. Every snowflake is unique, and the Bills found a way to not run all over the Seahawks, but pass all over the Seahawks, and Josh Allen gets reestablished as, I wouldn't quite say an MVP candidate yet, but he's on the fringes again.
Right.
Russell Wilson took a shot to his MVP candidacy, not just the loss, but also 4 turnovers. Are you kidding me? 4 turnovers for Russell Wilson yesterday, but it's all a product of the pressure they put on him. That's what Coach Sean McDermott told me after the game. They just got after him. They put as much pressure as they could on him, and they trusted that it would either result in sacks or mistakes by Russell Wilson, and, it resulted in both.
Well, these guys are going to – both of these guys, Russell Wilson, Josh Allen, they're going to have a game like this every now and then. I mean, when the game is all about just the quarterback and, hey, quarterback, we're not really good at anything, so you guys have to do everything, that's a lot. Tony Dungy, Coach Dungy brought it up last night. There's just too much asked of one guy all the time to where, he just has a little bit of an off day or gets a little unlucky, and all of a sudden the game snowballs out of control. We haven't seen that from Seattle, and Russell Wilson very often, but the 2 losses, that's the one thing they got in common, is the fact that Russell was a little careless with the football, certainly, but, they ask a lot of him, and you got to be able to kind of take the ebb and flow of that to a degree. Now, back to, Pete Carroll, I mean, Pete Carroll couldn't have expected them to just run the ball or be run heavy. I'm guessing he meant, I just thought they would run it more. But why would they? First off, they ran it against New England last week because New England has no defensive tackles. Seattle's defense stinks, but the only good thing they're good at is stopping the run. And Buffalo's like, wait, you're kind of good at stopping the run. You're the worst we've ever seen at stopping the pass. So we are going to drop back and throw the ball every freaking play. And yes, man, did Josh Allen and company make so many plays in the pass game. And this is what's scary about the Seattle Seahawks. It really is. They got a team that can really throw the ball and protect just enough to where they can't man-to-man or play or cover anybody down the field. And Josh Allen and the Bills just absolutely assaulted them with the pass game all day long. And good for Josh Allen and company getting back on the right track.
And they got out to the big lead, and then the Seahawks tried to make it interesting. They cut it down to 7 points before the Bills put the pedal back to the metal with a couple of touchdowns that essentially put it away. And, it's one of the detriments not having your fans present, because if the Bills had been up 41 or 20, what was it, 20, the worst of it was 24-7. That's it. It's lights out. It's night-night, because the crowd's not going to let you get back into it. It got to 27-10 also. But, you got to give the Seahawks credit. They never quit. They never stopped. But yesterday was just one of those days where it just wasn't going to matter. Josh Allen was spectacular. And Josh Allen had that different kind of motivation that comes from a personal tragedy. His grandmother passed on Saturday. McDermott told me after the game that he gave Josh the option to not play. He said he wanted to play. He was able to compartmentalize. That was the key word that McDermott used. Set it aside, focus on football. And then very emotional after the game in the locker room, and taking care of family business now. But Allen wanted to play, and he played incredibly well. And it was their best game, arguably, since the win over the Rams, although they let the Rams back into that one. That was one of those, wow, Josh Allen's an MVP. I mean, the first 4 weeks, every week, it was wow, 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 wow.
Yeah.
And then they got punched in the mouth by the Titans that brought them back down to earth. Then they lose to the Chiefs, and that kind of cemented the fact that there's a gap between them and the best teams in the AFC. And they've been kind of gradually working their way out of that hole. yesterday was when they stuck their head out and looked around and realized, hey, you know what? Maybe we can play with the best teams in the league.
Yeah, well, I think there's some things to be learned. I mean, obviously, hey, Tennessee, they caught them, they were on an off night, Buffalo. It just wasn't their best football. It wasn't as bad as what the score was made out to be. And then, again, the Chiefs game, it was there to be had. The Bills were winning in the fourth quarter of that football game, or at least in the third quarter, I believe, if I remember correctly. A lot of people have been getting on Josh Allen the last few weeks. Oh, he had the MVP start, and now these last 4 games. Okay, yeah, they played some pretty good teams. I mean, I don't understand.
The Jets?
Yeah, well, okay, they won. I mean, it doesn't matter. They won 18-10. It wasn't beautiful.
I'm just
they beat the Patriots, but no, I mean, it's just like we act like, sometimes with Josh Allen, again, he just never given a free pass. It's as soon as he faltered, it was like, everybody's got to show. Look, at the first 4 games, he was awesome. The second 4 games, even though they went 2-2, he was just good, not awesome. But we have to find a way to crap on him a little bit just because he's Josh Allen. And that's just stupid. It just shows you, but he's very talented. That was awesome to watch yesterday. The Bills, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say they're, the best team in the AFC, but you can see they're certainly dangerous. And Sean McDermott can just get the defense to be somewhat respectable after some of those early season flaws we saw. They might have a say in this when all's said and done. No doubt about it.
Now, the Bills aren't going to be playing every week a team that lets you convert 3rd and 72.
Right.
Which the Seahawks will do multiple times, Chris.
Yeah, well, no, you're right. They're not going to – the Bills, that was a good matchup for them yesterday, and the fact that, yeah, they're going to be able to throw the ball at will. There's not great pass rushers on the Seattle Seahawks. So Josh Allen can avoid people, extend plays, do all of those type of things. But either way, it's still a very dangerous offense. And they'll try to continue to work on being more balanced with the offensive run game and all those things too. But they had to throw the ball yesterday. I mean, some of those looks that Seattle gives you, they're begging you to throw it. All the people at the line of scrimmage. I mean, Josh Allen made a lot of big plays against all-out blitz, like, hey, we're just going to play no safety in the middle of the field. It's going to be 4 one-on-ones. And, Seattle is not capable of covering that group that long. And, between the pass interference at the end of the game with Jamal Adams, the 3rd and 15 screen pass behind the line of scrimmage to John Brown for a huge play, those were all-out cover zero type blitzes where Josh Allen, Brian Daboll caught the Seahawks in the perfect defense, and it was really a really well-thought-out game plan, and they attacked. And good for them going back to the, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it method. Why run the ball if you're just gashing them with 15 and 20-yard passes all the time? Don't let them off the hook. And I thought that was kind of cool how they kept the pressure on them that way.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.